Hello everybody, I'm Dr. Rimuraj Arnon and I'm dealing with the topic nutrition and digestion, and I'm very glad to present this topic nutrition and digestion. Let's have a look in detail. Talking about the human digestive system, we have to first deal about the structure. What is the structure of the human digestive system? And it really starts from the mouth and it ends in the rectum. The functions of the digestive tract organs, starting from the mouth. As we all know, food starts its journey from the mouth, or otherwise it is oral, called as oral cavity. Oral cavity, it mainly contains teeth, salivary glands. So the teeth are really designed for grinding the food into smaller particles. And the smaller particles are really moisturized with saliva, so it is really helps to pushes the food back into the pharynx. Now talking about pharynx, it is a fibromuscular Y-shaped tube which is connected to the terminal end of the mouth. So it is really involved in chewing and crushing the food, more food into. So it is really helping to chew and to crush the food, and it really passes to the esophagus. So this esophagus is also the major part. Okay, and the pharynx is also have a major function in the respiratory tract, as well as the air passes through the pharynx from the nose. So this mouth, pharynx and esophagus is called as the upper GIT tract. So they are involved in the upper gastrointestinal tract. And now talking about esophagus, it is a muscular tube that connects the pharynx, which is a part of the upper section of the gastrointestinal tract, and it supplies the swallowed food along its length. Now, talking about the stomach. Stomach, it serves as a muscular bag and which is situated towards the left side of the abdominal cavity, and stomach is a J-shaped organ, and it is a vital organ which acts as a storage bag which contains enough time to digest meals. Some food really takes more time to digest. Some food it really takes a minimum time to digest. So this all the stomach is the mainly the storage bag where the digestion process is held. So the stomach also produces certain digestive enzymes like hydrochloric acids that maintains the process of digestion. So next talking about mucus, it is an aqueous secretion which is produced by the mucous membrane, and it is mainly protecting the stomach, the lining of the stomach and the membranes, and it is helped which is produced by the glands. Okay, and this is mainly helping to destroy the bacteria which is entering through the food particles. Next, talking about the digestive enzymes. There are a group of enzymes which mainly functions by breaking down the polymeric or macromolecules like biopolymers into their very small and the simpler substances. So the food is now into a very small and simpler substances with the help of digestive enzymes. Then the hydrochloric acid, it is the digestive fluid which is formed by the body during the process of digestion, and it mainly destroys the harmful microorganisms which present in the food particles, which is entered into our body through the food particles. Next, we can talk about some of the functions of accessory organs. So it is not only the stomach, pharynx and esophagus. So it needs some accessory organs as well. So it is a pancreas. We'll just talk about the pancreas. It is a very large gland present just behind the stomach. It is very short and it is anterior connected to the duodenum and just posterior pointing towards the left part of the abdominal cavity. The pancreas also releases some digestive enzymes really to produce, so to mainly to process the chemical digestion. So it really helps in the pancreas really helps in the chemical digestion. We'll talk in about detail about the chemical digestion as well. Then next about liver. Liver is a roughly, we can say it is right like a triangular or something. It is a reddish brown organ of the digestive system, and it is located to the right part of the abdominal cavity. It mainly produces many enzymes, digestive enzymes, and also it helps in the digestion of fat in the digestive system. The bile is stored and also recycled in the gallbladder, and it is a very small gallbladder. We're talking about gallbladder now. It is a very small and a pear shaped organ which is located very next to the liver. So we'll look into detail about the functions of liver which is helping in the digestion. Next one, talking about the digestion process. So we are now going to detail into the digestion process. The process of digestion begins from the mouth, and its end ends in the small intestine, large intestine, and then it is going to the, we have already talked about, it is going to the rectum. So the waste products are eliminated through the rectum. The eliminatory canal or the gastrointestinal tract is a very series of hollow organs and the tubes that begins from the oral cavity, and it continues through the pharynx, through the stomach, small intestine, large intestine, and finally ending at the anus. The food particles gradually get digested as they travel through the compartments through the gastrointestinal tract. So the digestion process, we are talking in very detailed steps for the digestion process. So first step is injection. So that is mainly the very first steps. So that is what is called as mastication or the chewing process. So the main accessory organs is helping is salivary glands, teeth, and tongue. So this really helps to the food is really crushed and it is moisturized with saliva and is passing through the food pipe. It is also called as a pharynx. So next process is mainly the mixing and movement. It involves the process of lubricating and manipulating the food and pushing down to the floor of the food pipe. So from there the peristaltic movements starts. The next one is and the peristaltic movements, and it is mainly passed the food particles into the stomach. So it is mainly passed from the mouth, then to pharynx, esophagus, and now to the stomach. So here the peristaltic movements start. Next one is secretion. The stomach, small intestine, liver, and pancreas secrete enzymes and acids to aid the process of digestion. It mainly functions breaking down the food particles into very simpler and thus very simple components, and it is now easy absorbable components. Okay. Next one, digestion. The most important process. We have already discussed that the stomach is mainly involved in this digestion. So the process of converting the complex food particles into the simpler substances in mainly using the digestive enzymes. Next process is mainly absorption. So this really absorbing is really begins in the small intestine, and mainly the nutrients and the minerals are absorbed here. So the excess water in this particles is mainly passed to the large intestine. Next process is excretion. The process of removing indigestible substances or the waste products after the digestion is mainly passed through a waste byproducts from the body through the process of defecation. So here it is rectum is involved. In a nutshell, the digestion process consisting of the following 6 steps we have already discussed about: injection, mixing and movement, secretion, digestion, absorption, and excretion as well. Next, we'll talk in detail about the mechanical and also the chemical digestion. So this is a diagram showing the what is the mechanical and also the chemical digestion. We'll talk in detail about that. So next one is mechanical digestion. So the digestion involves both the mechanical and also the chemical process, as we already told. Mechanical digestion is purely a physical process. Okay, so mainly the nature of the food is making into the smaller particles, and it includes the mastication, chewing, as well as the tongue movements that breaking down the food particles into the very smaller units, and it is the food is also mixing with the moist with the saliva. Although there are many tendency, that is the mechanical digestion is limited to the first steps of digestive system, but it occurs or after the food leaves from the mouth as well. So there are many peoples or many articles have been researched, and it is saying that mechanical digestion is not only limited to the first part of digestion. It really continues when the food is moving to the leaves from the mouth also. It is really the mechanical digestion is involved in all the whole process as well. Next, the segmentation, which occurs mainly in the small intestine, consists of a localized contractions of circular muscle of the muscularis layer of the alimentary canal. So these contractions is isolating small sections of the intestine and moving their contents back, and they are continuously subdividing and breaking up and mixing the contents. So by moving food back and forth in the intestinal lumen, segmentation mixes with the digestive juice, and that facilitates the absorption here. Next, we'll see about what is chemical digestion, and then we'll talk about what is the absorption, what happens really in the absorption part. Chemical digestion is aided by the secretion of enzymes starting from the mouth. Digestive systems break down into complex molecules into the chemical building blocks. For example, the proteins is separated into the amino acids in the process of digestion. So these secretions varies in composition, but the various enzyme, acids and salt, the process is completed. So the chemical digestion, this process is completed in the small intestine. Food that has been broken down is of no value to the body unless it enters into the bloodstream. So we are getting the nutrients from mainly through the bloodstreams, and the process of absorption is taking place in the small intestine as well. And also we have talked about after all the nutrients, there is some excess waste product, so that is mainly defecated through the body as feces. Next, what is absorptions of food? Okay, when digestion is finished, it results in a very small, simple nutrient molecules that must go through the absorption from the GI tract, that is mainly by the blood or the lymph or the bloodstreams, and it is really absorbed. For example, water is absorbed in both of these organs. Okay, and so we have to talk about that water is absorbed both in the small intestine as well as the large intestine. So some of the minerals and vitamins are also absorbed in the large intestine. We have already talked about that the small intestine is really absorbing the water and the nutrients, and the excess water is mainly passed down to the large intestine. So that we are talking about in this section. However, about 95% of the nutrient molecules are absorbed in the small intestine. So the absorption of the majorities of these molecules takes place in the second part of the intestine, that is called as the jejunum. Okay. Next one, we'll talk about the histology of the alimentary canal. So this is the histology. This is the diagram which shows the histology of the alimentary canal. So we know that is mucosa layer, submucosa layer, and muscularis propria, serosa or adventitia. So there are the we have already discussed about all this layers. Mucosa, so that is the innermost layer of the gastrointestinal tract. So next three layers are really underlying the mucosa, that is epithelium. So that is also the innermost layer. So majority of the digestion, absorption and secretion takes place in this epithelium. The next one is lamina propria. So that is a layer of connective tissues, okay, which lies within the mucosa, and also the muscularis mucosa, that is a thin double layer of a smooth muscle that allows the local peristaltic movements. So that we have talked about now. Then the mucosa, so it is a layer of a loose connective tissue. So the mucosa and the enteric nervous flexes are seen here. So that is we are talking about now. Next one. So this is the next one, talking about the histology of stomach. So the stomach consists the stomach mucosa consists of simple columnar epithelium. So it is mainly consists of what? Simple columnar epithelium is stomach consists of. So the glands of the stomach mainly secrete mucosa and the digestive enzymes. So it has called the submucosa. The next first one is the mucosa, second one is the submucosa layer. So it is very thick and it ensures that is flexible and durable. And the third one is muscularis propria. So as the nerves says that is muscularis, so it is called as a muscular layer in the stomach. So that is a third layer, and the main function is mainly to mix and break down the food into the very simpler substances. Next one, serosa. So the majority of the stomach is the intraperitoneal, and it needs to able to move freely. So that has called as the serosa. So that action is done in this serosa layer. So this is the histology of the stomach. The image shows us that the mucosa layer, submucosa layer, muscularis externa, and also the serosal layer. Next one, we can talk about the histology of a small intestine. So as we have talked this earlier, like stomach, it is also having a submucosal layer. So one is missing. So what is missing is the mucosal layer is missing in the histology of small intestine. Mucosa is the submucosa is the thinner in the small intestine, and it contains about the neurovascular and also the lymphatic supply here. So Berners glands, it is very important in the small intestine. So they are present in, and that is really rich in the alkaline. The next one is muscular propria. So these are the two layers in the small intestines which is helping. And next one, serosa. We have already talked about, like the stomach. The serosa is having the same thing. It secretes a serous fluid, and this mainly helps in the secretion. So this first section of the duodenum is the retroperitoneal, and also so it is also contained in this histology of small intestine. Next, talking about the histology of duodenum, it has got 4 layers: mucosa layer, submucosa layer, muscularis externa layer, and serosal layer. Mucosa layer is the innermost layer, and with mucus glands and microvilli. So microvilli are really helping this for the nutrient absorption which is happening in the duodenum part. And submucous layer, it is mainly connected of all the connective tissues, and muscularis external layer, it is called as a smooth muscle tissues. Okay, and the next one, the fourth one, is serosal layer, and it is the outermost layer of the duodenum. So it is mainly acting as the outermost layer of the duodenum. Next, talking about the histology of ileum. Histologically, the ileum have the same basic structure as the jejunum. So the mucosa is lined by simple columnar epithelium, and it is also called as goblet cells is there. So rest also is similar to that of the jejunum here. Next one, histology of large intestine. Large intestine contains mucosa layer, submucosa layer, and the muscularis propria, and also serosal layer, as same as the histology of small intestine here. So mucosa, it is colonic mucosa, is lined with a simple columnar epithelium, and it is called as a large microvilli or a long microvilli. So this villi layer mainly helps in the movement of the feces to the rectum. So that is mainly through the colon it is happening, and the submucosa layer is thicker than the small intestine here, and it contains a large quantities of the blood vessels. And muscularis propria, so it is also known as a strap like bands called as tinea colia. So we can see about the diagram. So this is the histology of the large intestine as well as. Next, talking about the very important topic, what are the functions of liver in digestion? The liver plays several important functions in the digestive system. As we all know, it mainly filters all the blood in the body and breaks down the poisonous substances such as any alcohols or drugs. So it is really acting as both anti-toxic organ. So it produces a bile. So that is a fluid which helps the digest the fats and carry out the waste products. So metabolysis, carbohydrates, proteins, and lipids, fats in the blood, and initially processed during the digestion. Next one, more functions of liver we are talking about. It mainly produces very important substances which is called as bile. So bile is produced in the liver. So it is a chemical that mainly helps the fats into energy that the body we are using. So bile is very necessary for the digestion process as well. And also the liver also creating the albumin. So it is a blood protein that mainly helps to carry out the hormones, drugs, and the fatty acids throughout our body. Then removing the waste products, one of the functions, controls the immune responses as well. So when bacteria, viruses, or any other harmful substances which are entering into the body, so the liver is just fighting and destroying them as well. So this is mainly done by the specialized cells in the liver. And also controlling the glucose level as well. So these are the image of the liver. So these are the structures we can see in the liver as well as. So this is a very small organ. So here it is the gallbladder. Next one, we are talking about a balanced diet. So what is the importance of a balanced diet? So we have talked about what is the functions, what are the accessory organs, so what are the chemical digestion and mechanical digestion and everything. So how we can make a balanced diet in our daily routine. So we can talk about that. A balanced diet is a best way to stay healthy. It doesn't mean that we are eating a lot. It doesn't help us actually. So a healthy balanced diet is also a proportionate diet. That means eating the right food times at the right appropriate amount and also at the right time. So some people, I've found that some people are skipping the breakfast. It doesn't comes on the balanced diet. So the balanced diet means we are eating the right proportionate diet in the right amount at the right time. So, what are the requirements for a balanced diet? So, there are mainly 7 requirements needed for a balanced diet. Carbohydrates, we know that is an excellent source of energy. So, it mainly comprises of about 60% of the person's diet as well. So, it is mainly the energy source. The next one talking about the vitamins. So, vitamin A, vitamin C, vitamin B and vitamin D. So, these are all the vitamins which is very essential for our body as well. Next talking about yeah, minerals with release of energy from the blood items, it mainly interact with the hormones interact with the organs to promote the growth. Next one is unsaturated fats. A lot of people avoid fat, but what is their intention means that is mainly this fat is mainly causing the weight gain, but it's not the truth actually. There are healthy fats that is mainly derived from the food good sources or the dietary products that we have to eat, because it is one of the basic requirements our body that we need some amount of fats, that is mainly per day 70 grams. 5. Protein. Another key component of a healthy balanced diet is protein, which mainly comes from the meat and all, but the dietary requirements that should the protein. So we have to take a dietary requirement as 50 grams for a typical adult. Next one is fiber. So fiber really helps in the digestion and really prevents in the constipation. Next one, water. It is a very important factor that the few people consider the importance of factor in the diet, that they are drinking coffee, tea, juice and everything, but it's important. I think it's really important to hydrate the body. Drink as possible as water in its form, not as the form of coffee, tea or juice, because it really contains the additional amount of glucose or sugar or something. So take as much as possible water in its natural form. So this is the balanced diet chart. Okay, and what are the benefits for a balanced diet? The benefits are really physical health. It really motivates, it really energizes, promotes the our physical health as well as it boosts our mental health. So we know, as we all know, here in UK, United Kingdom, the Alzheimer's disease is getting a higher chance to get a Alzheimer's disease. So it may be related to all the neurovascular diseases or something. But we can say, for instance, that is omega-3 fatty acids, which is found in the fish, are really helping for vital for the brain or the cognitive functions, and thus by reducing the risk of the Alzheimer's disease. So we have talked about, and also the benefits for a balanced diet is mainly it is helping for the disease prevention as well as and emotional well-being, and also we have talked about the mental well-being also. So what are the effects of dietary imbalance? So if we are getting a higher risk of diseases, mood swings, everyone is having the mood swings now, the growth and development problems, water retention and constipation, insufficient and restful sleep or sleep apnea, deficiency diseases, everything is happening now. So next one we'll see about the various nutritional deficiencies as well. Pellagra, that is mainly caused by the deficiency of vitamin 3. So what are the symptoms? Meaning dementia, diarrhea and also even death. So beriberi, so that is a deficiency caused by the vitamin B1, and it is mainly the symptoms are nerve damages, muscle weakness and all. Scurvy, that is mainly the deficiency of vitamin C. We can see some persons have a gum bleeding, so that is mainly joint pain, so that is also because of the scurvy, so that is mainly the deficiency of vitamin C. And rickets is caused by the deficiency of vitamin D. So that is delayed growth and muscle weakness is happening is the symptoms. The night blindness, which is caused by the deficiency of vitamin A, it was really in a world nutritional deficiency rate, the vitamin deficiency of vitamin A is in the highest peak. So the symptoms are poor vision, dry eyes will be there. So increased risk of many infections also there. And goiter is caused by the deficiency of iodine as well. So that we have already discussed what are the consequences of nutrition deficiency. Undernutrition, sometimes it is overweight, obesity, immune system is the poor, weaker immune system, poor wound healing, muscle weakness, and higher rate of hospitalization. So there are malnutrition is also affecting in adults. See, increased, we have not at all, we can't concentrate in our work. So that is really happening to the nutritional deficiency, as well as slow wound healing, increased risk of falls, low mood, and also reduced energy levels as well. Next one is we are talking about, it is a very important topic as well, as what are the protein energy malnutrition. It is also called as PEM. Okay. So severe, it is malnutrition is a condition that occurs in the body, does not giving when it is not getting the enough nutrients. This malnutrition is happening. So marasmus is the deficiency of all macronutrients, while kwashiorkor is the deficiency of the protein itself. So I will show you the picture. See the kwashiorkor, image of a kwashiorkor child and the image of a marasmus child. So the difference is that. So next we'll dealing with the dietary requirements, recommendations. So the WHO have given some recommendations. So a healthy diet helps to protect against this malnutrition. So healthy daily practices, that is now every energy intake. So we have already told the 60% of the major food comes from the carbohydrates, and we have to take about 70 grams of fat, and also like, so all these things, all how much energy we have to eat, or how much water intake we have to done, and keeping the salt intake less and the sugar intake of less. So that is also all related to the dietary recommendations by the WHO. So that is World Health Organization have recommended us. Next one, a healthy lifestyle. So there are mainly 12 steps for a healthy lifestyle that is mainly recommended by the World Health Organization. Eat a nutritious diet, eat bread, whole grains, pasta, rice. That is mainly to improve the carbohydrates, and eat a variety of vegetables and fruits. Maintain the body weight between the recommended limits. So the most ideal BMI, the basic metabolic rate, is mainly, index is mainly 18.5 to 25. Over 25 is considered as overweight, and over 29.5 is considered as obese as well. So control the fat intake and replace the fatty meat and meat products, and use milk and meat products as well. Next one, so we are talking about the same things only. So these are the WHO dietary recommendations. So these are the references I've studied and taken in detail. So that is a human digestive system by the Byju's learning app, an image of liver and functions from the Chaurasia, and also I have explained from the Chaurasia, that is a textbook of anatomy as well, and also from the chapter 7 nutrition and digestion from the Learn Direct. Then histology from the Greek medicine, and also Greek myths or digestion and absorption from the learner's text, that is a textbook of my biology from the Libra text, and balanced diet from the online nutrition courses, components of a balanced diet, dietary recommendations, that is the guidelines is issued by the World Health Organization by 2025, and also eat well plate from the NHS. So that is all about this nutrition and digestion presentation, and thank you very much for paying a good attention to listen my presentation. Thank you all once again.